C'est la fête des sciences. C'est la fête des sciences.
Comment se passe la journée des sciences pour vous ?
C'est très très busy. Je cours un petit peu partout parce que je dois m'assurer que tout se passe bien pour les intervenants, pour les élèves. Mais mon rôle, c'est surtout de m'assurer que tout se passe bien pour les intervenants.
Est-ce que être busy, c'est une bonne chose ou une mauvaise chose ?
C'est plutôt une bonne chose en fait parce que je m'ennuie pas. Donc c'est chouette, j'aime ne pas m'ennuyer.
Est-ce que vous aimez la journée des sciences 2020 ?
Oui, je l'aime particulièrement parce que c'est une journée qui est beaucoup plus axée sur tout ce qui est environnemental que les années précédentes en fait. Et c'est un sujet qui me tient particulièrement à cœur.
Selon vous, laquelle activité sera la plus recommandable aux autres élèves ?
Je pense qu'elles sont toutes recommandables en fonction des centres d'intérêt des élèves. On a vraiment plein de sujets différents qui font appel à plein de sciences différents et ça dépend vraiment de ce que vous préférez.
Comment avez-vous organisé cette fête des sciences ?
C'est une très bonne question. Tout d'abord, c'est un travail d'équipe. Je ne peux pas l'organiser tout seul. Donc en fait, c'est tout le département de mathématiques, tout le département de sciences, tout le département communication du CFBL, plus la vie scolaire, plus une partie de l'administration et de la direction. Donc on est au moins une bonne quinzaine à travailler chaque année sur la fête des sciences. Mon travail à moi personnellement, pour l'instant en tous les cas, c'est d'harmoniser un petit peu tout ça, de gérer, d'organiser les réunions. Mais je fais jamais tout seul, je délègue énormément par rapport à différentes parties de la fête des sciences. On a tous des spécialités qui sont un petit peu différentes, on a tous des points forts qui sont différents. Donc j'essaye de faire en sorte que chacun puisse avoir du travail à faire et puis que ça avance régulièrement. On fait une réunion tous les mois à peu près. Donc depuis le début de l'année, on a eu au moins 6 ou 7 réunions pour organiser la fête de la science. Plus tout ce qu'on fait en dehors des réunions, contacter les intervenants, assurer des échanges de mails avec eux, faire en sorte qu'ils soient bien accueillis, trouver les lots pour les différentes compétitions, etc. etc.
Merci beaucoup et bonne fête des sciences.
Merci à toi et bonne fête des sciences aussi.
Merci.
C'est la fête des sciences.
Radio Récré, la radio qui grandit avec vous. CFBL.
Hello, welcome to Radio Récré. I am Max from 3e.
I am Olivia from 4e.
I am Kira from 3e.
And I'm Charlotte from 4e. Could you please introduce yourselves?
Ok, alors nous sommes trois anciens élèves du CFBL. Donc je vais me présenter moi d'abord, c'est Farouk Morsi.
Moi c'est Selim Girard.
Moi c'est Timothée Ménard.
Why did you come to CFBL today?
So we came today because we had a presentation for the Science Weeks to present basically the project that we did, which is called the AstroPie. So we just came here today. We already presented this morning, and we also have an atelier to do later on today.
Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So the project is ran in collaboration between the ESA, donc l'Agence spatiale européenne, and Raspberry Pi, which is a foundation that basically builds Raspberry Pis, which are basically small computers. And the competition lets young students send a code to the ISS to run experiments there. And so in the end, yeah, we won the competition. Yeah.
How many people participated in the competition?
So at the very beginning, we were 4,700 teams of between 2 and 6 per teams. And there were at the end 11 winning teams.
What motivated you to participate in this competition?
So we all had our love of space and programming, and so this competition allowed us to put these two themes together. So we had to program something that would go to space, and we had to think about the space station, how it worked, and everything like that. So that's why we wanted to do this project, is because, well, it was the two subjects that we loved a lot, and since we were kids. So yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more, please?
So basically, we knew the ISS turned in an orbit around Earth, and our question was, well, how does it travel, and does it sometimes reorientate itself because of space debris? So what we did is build a code that every second takes the acceleration values and the orientation values of the ISS, so that in the end we could build graphs to better understand, well, how the station actually moves and why it accelerates or orientates itself at certain times.
How did you get the idea to start this project?
Like the idea of the project, or
The space degree.
Oh, because, well, me personally, I saw at some point in a documentary, I think, about I saw a picture of space debris around Earth.
Project for the experiments.
Wherever it's fine.
So first of all, the idea of studying space debris, I saw this picture, and I think we don't realize how much space debris is out there surrounding Earth, and it's something really dangerous, because at any time, if it falls out of orbit, it can just come back to Earth. So we wanted to study how the ISS moves.
And it's also very dangerous for the ISS, because even if it just a little rock or something like that touches it at the speed it's going, it would make a hole that would be very problematic for the people inside. So the ISS has to do maneuvers to avoid them. And so we that's what we were looking at for the acceleration and the orientation. That's why we were looking at both of these parameters, and we wanted to be able to see how did the maneuver go, how would it happen, what was the acceleration, where would it accelerate, and all that stuff.
And for the idea of the project, not the experiment, we just had an email sent to us by our maths teacher, telling us that he was going to tell everyone tomorrow about a project and ask if people wanted to participate in it. And he was telling us that it would be a great idea to put in our CVs for our university's application later on, and that will be a very good project for us to learn and to see. So we accepted, we've tried it, and it's really thanks to him at the beginning that we all started, I think, and we were motivated to do this project.
So what happened is the ESA sent us the Raspberry Pi, so one Raspberry Pi for us to experience on. Well, our teacher had one that he could give it to the other groups to experience on. That's where we wrote our code. There were all the sensors, so we used it to experiment on it during when it was on Earth. And then when we sent our code to the ESA, and they validated it, and then they sent it. They uploaded it to the ISS, where there are two Raspberry Pi working always on, and that's how it spent 3 hours, so 2 times around the Earth, using our code, and that's how we got all our data.
And what are you going to be doing with the data?
So first of all, we received the data, which was just a horrific amount of numbers. So
it's 250,000 numbers, something like that.
And we had to, we had a month to write a report with it. So we used it as coordinates to find out the accelerations and the different orientation of the ISS. We did different graphs to explain how it moves. And we also were able to do a simulation using Blender. And then we sent it all to the ESA.
Can you tell us what's a Raspberry Pi?
So a Raspberry Pi is just basically a very simple computer where you just put in the code, there's an output, there's an output. And what's really special about our Raspberry Pi is that they sent the Sense hat, which they give out to all students, which is basically different sensors. So we also had sensors for the temperature, the pressure, we had a camera. So usually when you buy a Raspberry Pi, it's impossible to have these sensors. And we had these and we could experiment with these. So yeah, we had like different Raspberry Pi from the usual ones. So.
What advice would you give to students who want to do it in the future?
The AstroPi, the competition.
Yes.
Just be consistent and just do what you enjoy. Don't do it if you just don't like coding, but if you really enjoy coding, science, engineering, this is like the perfect competition to just have fun and just experiment, because you're not going to be able to do stuff like that in school. And we seized the opportunity and we had a lot of fun. So every time you see a competition, a project like this, anything that is optional, just do it, because you might discover something that you really, really will enjoy for the rest of your life. So
yeah, take all the opportunities that are presented to you, because you might find something new that you liked and maybe you didn't. So yeah, that's very important, I think.
And I think one thing I would add for advice to people that are still in college now would be choose the right persons to work with, because it's important to have the person that's, smart, because we're all smart in some ways, but it's also important to have the persons that you can trust and that you'll have fun with them at the same time, because even if we worked on different numbers and code, we still had fun at the same time. So I think it's important to find the right people to work with and not just choose random persons who you cannot trust or not work together. It's really important the person you surround yourself with when you want to work or go out in general.
When did you first learn how to code?
In Mr. Benjamin's class.
I started by myself. I always wanted to code as a kid, and when I was in Hong Kong before being at CFBL, I took classes. I asked my mom for classes, and I took classes with a teacher that came every week for 1 hour, and that's how I started to learn how to use Python. My father bought me a book that I read, and not all of it because it's a little bit for my age, but that's how I started learning. I also use websites that I found on the internet and watched YouTube videos, and that's, yeah.
For me, well, also Mr. Benjamin's classes, but like when I really started to get into coding was in troisième, where I saw this ad for a coding camp, and I had like really no idea what I was getting into, and I had this course about HTML and CSS, so the languages to build websites, and I absolutely loved it. So from there, I just had fun at home and just did more research. And what's really cool about coding is that it's the perfect subject that you can practice at home, and you have all the resources just on a computer. So from there, I just started working on my own. So
thank you for coming here today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.